Hi guys, today we are going to talk about camera movement. Before we get started, I want you to think, how do you think that camera movement can help tell a story? To give you an idea, I want to start off with a short video.
Hi, this is JP Morgan, and today in the Slanted Lens, we're going to take a look at camera movement, the emotion that different camera movements can create for the viewer. I've got Will Rubio here with me today. He's a great gangster, he's got a great look, so we're going to see if we can shoot up the town just a little bit.
Yeah, you'll never catch me, Kappa. Is that good?
Let's get started and see what we can do. Yeah, that's good, Will. That's good. Don't forget to enter so you can win the Tamron 24 to 70mm SP lens. We're still accepting entries. Go to the end of the lesson, it'll show you how to sign up. Moving the camera helps create different emotions in a scene. We see it all the time in films that we watch. An action scene where the camera moves around the subject smoothly is much different than Born Identity, where the camera was shaky and unstable. Camera movement can add or detract from the emotion the director wants to communicate. Camera movement should emphasize emotion that we want to see in the scene. When the camera moves, it needs to move in relationship to someone or something and create the emotion that supports the story. Let's look at some different camera moves and the emotion that they create. Obviously, the actor's performance, the dress, and the lighting can contribute or create emotion as well. But movement is simply one of the ways to strengthen or create that emotion. A crane shot moving down moves you into the story or the scene. There's a feeling of falling into the character's world or being dropped into the scene. When the camera moves from a shot of our actor into a wide vista shot on a crane, it gives us a feeling of how small the character is or how large this obstacle is that he or she has to overcome. When the camera moves from a very high shot to a very low shot, this makes the character look strong and opposing and creates a lot of fear. It gives us a feeling of authority. Handheld camera movement can create a feeling of uneasiness or danger. It needs to be a bit shaky and unsettling, but it makes it feel very strange and dangerous. A quick pan can change the emotional direction of a scene almost at once. We reveal something dangerous or something that the character is going to have to overcome, and it sends the audience in a totally different emotional direction. A quick push-in with the camera creates a feeling of surprise or shock. A slow camera dolly in can create tension and helps us become a little more intimate with the character. This can be intimate in a way that it makes us feel uncomfortable for them, or intimate in a way that helps us share the emotion that they're facing at that moment. Slowly dollying away from a character can leave them looking emotionally lost and abandoned. In the viewer, it creates an emotion of empathy. A relationship's developed there. You feel lost with them. You want them to overcome. A dolly across reveals action or changes the emotional direction of a scene. If the man in this scene was pointing his gun at a gopher, it's a much different emotional change than pointing the gun at a gangster. So it reveals something that changes the emotion. A smooth glide cam shot between two men holding guns creates more of a ballet or a dance feeling. It's going to feel epic. It's going to feel kind of dreamlike. It creates an emotion that's much different than if you go after something with more of an edgy kind of handheld camera. So here's that same scene with a handheld camera. This does feel edgy, it feels stressful, it has a much different sense than when we have that kind of smooth glide cam. This is more like Born Identity, where they're pushing the emotion right into your face. This glide cam, as it comes in and sweeps around the actor in a full 360, it gives you a very interesting kind of calm before the storm feeling, like there's a survey of the situation. Something's coming, something's about to happen. Unfortunately, our equipment was in the way, so you didn't get a clean 360, but that's the sense of that emotion. This is a really cool move, I think. A dolly is just interesting looking. It's a zoom with a dolly shot at the same time, so it's called a zolly. The background gets larger or smaller, but the person remains about the same size. You know, a zolly creates an overwhelming emotional feeling, like it's almost an out-of-body experience, like it's blowing their mind what's about to happen or what is happening. This is just a few of the many ways you can move the camera and create emotion. I hope these examples will be a help to you as you plan your next shoot. Remember, camera movement can create emotion or help to establish and emphasize the emotion that you want in a shot. Keep those cameras rolling, keep on clicking.
Smells like fresh horse poo.
Hi, this is JP Morgan, and today on the...
All right, so that was fun. That was a slight introduction. We are going to go into more detail. This is going to be part one of a two-part series, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, camera movement is an important part of storytelling. It's a tool that you can use to force your audience to feel a specific way. And here are all the different, well, not most of the different ways that you can use this camera movement. So first up, we've got static. This is the majority of shots you are going to see. You put a camera on a tripod and you get the shot. It's stable, it doesn't move. That's because that's the way we see the world. It's just static. It doesn't move. Most of our shots are going to be static. You want to be sparing with actual camera movement because you don't want to really overdo it, okay? All right, second one, dolly. That's anytime you put your camera on wheels. You have a platform, you have wheels. What I do here at the school, actually there's two things I do at the school. I have a cart that I duct tape a tripod to. Another thing I might do is strap a camera to a scooter. Those are two ways that I do dollies, because laying down tracks to set shots that way, first of all, we don't have any tracks. Second, it would be really expensive. And third, take too much time. Next up, we have panning. When you pan, you're just moving the camera left to right or right to left. You're moving the camera horizontally. And it's staying on one central point and it's twisting, okay? What that can do is it can show you more of the environment. Or like he said, panning from one character to another to reveal something can definitely cause the audience to feel certain emotions. You know, they might feel humor if you pan and reveal someone, like he said, taking aim at a gopher. But the emotion is going to be different when you pan from the farmer to the gangster. All right? Next up, we have tilt. Tilting the camera. Again, you want the camera on a solid object, preferably a tripod, and you're going to just move the camera to point down or to point up. When you point down, then you are putting, you might be revealing something on the ground or something lower. You might be causing something to be put into a position of weakness, pointing down, pointing up, the opposite, revealing something huge, something big, or making something appear to be more heroic, more powerful. Next up, we've got pedestal. This is when you actually move the camera up or down. So you have it and you physically move the camera. Is still shooting straight, but up and down. And it's called a pedestal move because they used to literally be on a pedestal that would have to be moved up and down in order to get the concept, the idea, the shot that you wanted. All right, next up, we've got rack focus. This isn't quite a camera movement so much as you are changing the focus. The small orange cameras that you will probably use really can't pull this off very well, but if you have a specific rack focus you want to use, then we can use one of the higher quality big black cameras. So anyway, you have something out of focus in the background and something in focus in the foreground, or vice versa, and you just force the focus from one to the other. That is a rack focus. And that is it for the day. So that's a lot of stuff that you need to absorb and try to think of. Start trying to think about how you can work one or more of these types of movements into the film that you are hopefully currently thinking about. All right. We will continue with camera movement tomorrow. Have a great day.